So I have been plagued with truck problems for like the last 4 years. Second drive, damn transmission welds itself together. Yes, you read that title correctly. My MD 5600 6-speed welded itself together. At first, I really didn't know what the hell was wrong with it. Well, this morning, I pull out of my driveway. I drive, it shifts fine. I drive about 5 minutes. I go to put it in neutral, wouldn't go in gear. So I'm coasting, come to a stop, trying to put it in second gear to keep going again. It finally went in second, and then I couldn't get it in third, so I had to stop again. I finally get it, I think, in third, and I take off, and I go through third, fourth, fifth, into sixth, come to another stoplight, pull it out of gear, and it won't go back in gear. But if I take my foot off the clutch, it drives. All right, we have the transmission right here. It looks like it's in neutral, right? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then reverse. So everything goes into gear, which I think is kind of weird, but I'm gonna put my foot on the clutch, start it up, so it's in neutral. But I can still move forward. So this thing is stuck in gear, which I think is weird because it literally feels like it's going into gear on each one of these. So here's reverse. Like nothing's moving. If I go into second, nothing's moving. So I'm gonna slide this out. Well, this bushing looks good, so it's definitely not the bushing. After removing the shift tower and looking down into the transmission, I really couldn't see anything that was wrong. I only have that big of space to look down in there. I just couldn't see anything that was wrong, but I did notice something, but we'll get into that later. So I was pretty much stumped. I didn't know what was wrong, so my first instinct was to look on Google and look on YouTube to see if anyone else was having the same problem that I've been having. And that's when I came across a YouTube channel called Long Range Gear, and they specialize pretty much in 5 speeds and 6-speed Dodge transmissions.
All right, what's up guys? It's Andrew with Long Range Gear. Today we have an MV 5600 to tear down. This one's in pretty rough shape.
I went to their Instagram and shot them over a message. Okay, so long story short, I was driving yesterday, the transmission locked in 5th gear. The shifter can go in all gears, but when I let off the clutch, the truck won't move. If I let off the clutch all the way, the truck will stall out. That's what I'm talking about. If I put it in first, second, third, fourth, sixth, or reverse, the truck will stall if I try to let off the clutch. At this point, I thought it was a 5th and 6th clutch fork. I asked him, is there a way I can get the clutch fork unstuck by taking the shift tower off or removing a PTO plate, or am I fucked and have to remove the trans? And the first thing he asked, if you put the shifter in 6th gear, will it stall? I said, I can't remember. I can try when I get back home, but I'm pretty sure it does stall. After I told him that I think it does stall in 6th gear, he knew exactly what my problem was. If it stalls in 6th gear as well, your fork is moving just fine. Unfortunately, your input is welded to your output. You see that fairly regularly. My heart just sank. I said, damn, really? From low oil, huh? That's key. There's a few factors, but the pilot bearings are under a lot of stress. Somebody could have ran it low, or the end play was excessive and it got beat around too much, causing the bearing to come apart. So if y'all don't know what I mean, or when Long Range Gear says the input shaft is welded to the output shaft, here is some carnage of what happens when that happens. So at this point, my truck is not at my house, and I have to get it 20 minutes back to my house. So I asked him, you think it'll be fine to drive back to my house with it stuck in 5th gear? I'll probably smoke the clutch. He said, start with the T-case in low range, clutch in, shift to high, then carry on. Clutch should make it. So I told him I'll go ahead and give that a try. So let's go ahead and give that a try. So basically what they said I have to do is, obviously it's welded to it. So I got to start out in 4 low so I don't smoke the clutch. God damn. Well, that didn't work. That did not work like I thought it was going to. And we got people behind me. I'm gonna see if I can't just run through this stop sign. Damn, dude. I pretty much have to drive the whole way home like this. Oh, damn. Man, this thing sucks. So, as far as I know, hopefully I only have 2 more stops to make, which this is gonna be one of them right here. So, I kind of rolled through that, but if it got me going, I needed to roll through it. This one right here, it's a stoplight, so this one's gonna be worse trying to roll through this. I'll put in 4 low this time. Smoking this clutch right now. All right, we're off. Yeah, I couldn't do, oh, I smell that clutch. Damn. I couldn't do what long range gear was saying, was to put it in 4 low and then push the clutch in and switch it to 4 high because it grinds. So I smoked the clutch there, but that should be the last, my buddies, that should be the last stop I should have to make. Everything else should be straightforward, no more stops, and I should be able to get it right home. All right, we are about to pull up to my house and get this long 20-minute drive over with. It was a long 20 minutes, and of course, okay, this guy's turning so I can make it. Thank God. Nothing else broke, transmission didn't lock up. It's just the 5th gear input shaft and output shaft and welded itself together. But we are freaking home. Thank God. Thank you. My luck. My freaking luck. Do y'all remember when I said this?
I said, damn, really? From low oil, huh? That's key.
Well, when I first took the shift tower off, I looked down in here with the flashlight on my phone, and I honestly did not see any oil. Now, when I first got this truck, I did an oil change on it, so I know that it has good, clean, fresh engine oil. On the other hand, I never checked the transmission fluid. So that's probably my first mistake right there, was not checking all the fluids. I never checked the diff fluid, the front diff fluid. I want to see how much, if any, transmission fluid is in this transmission. I got this PDR tool. It's the only thing that I really have that's long enough that can fit down in there. I'm gonna stick it all the way to the bottom and see how much oil is in this transmission. So let's go ahead and see if I can reach the bottom. Oh, I think I'm at the bottom. And would you look at that? Literally 1/4 of an inch worth of oil on the tip of this PDR tool. That's it. Man, this whole thing could have been avoided if I checked the oil in this transmission. So basically, this transmission just ran out of oil. Bearings weren't getting any oil. Gears weren't getting any oil. I never really heard anything coming from the transmission like grinding gears or bearings making any noises. So it never clicked in my head to check the oil in it. But From now on, when I get a new vehicle, I'm changing the engine oil, I'm checking the transmission fluid, I'm checking the diff fluids, I'm checking every single fluids, because now this is gonna cost me to go ahead, pull this out, send it off to get rebuilt, and it all could have been avoided if I checked the damn oil, man. So with it being low oil, with it being pretty much input shaft and output shaft welded together, this transmission is gonna have to get dropped and sent out. The guys over at Long Range Gear, they actually live in, I think, Washington. Their shop's in Washington, and they are gonna take care of it for me. I'm gonna go ahead, take this transmission out, put it on a pallet, freight ship it over to Washington. They're gonna go ahead, go through it completely, rebuild everything. I'm gonna put my transfer case on that pallet as well. They're gonna go through that, rebuild it if it needs to be rebuilt. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back a freshly rebuilt transmission, a freshly rebuilt transfer case, and it's gonna be awesome. So seeing that this truck is gonna be down probably for at least a month, because it's gonna take 7 days for it to get shipped, 7 days back, and then whatever time they have in rebuilding it. I trust Long Range Gear to take care of me completely, get my transmission right, get my transfer case right, so that's why I'm sending it to them. But while the truck is down, I still have a lot of stuff that I can do. I'm gonna go ahead and order new shocks, new steering stabilizer. I have to go ahead and loosen this fender right here because it is not attached to the bottom, because the part right here that's actually on the body broke off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a new piece of metal, weld it in, and then I'm gonna riv nut it. That way I can bolt the fender to the body of the truck. I gotta do that on both sides. And then also, like I said, I never checked the diff fluid, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a diff fluid change on the rear and the front. We will get new shocks for the back as well. And then, like I said, I have that PDR tool, which is paintless dent repair. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can fix all of these dents that are in the body of this truck. There's some on this side, and then also there is a few on this side, just minor dents that I can try to pop out. I mean, they're barely there. So hopefully, I've never done any kind of paintless dent repair, so hopefully I can try to do it myself, make it look a little bit better without having a bunch of minuscule dents in the side of this truck. And then also I might end up trying to do a track bar on the lifted truck, because I gotta weld some stuff in. So we may end up working on the lifted truck. I know you guys have been wanting me to work on it, so we may do some work on that. And then also I have the first gen to sell. I gotta clean it up. That will probably be the next video, cleaning that thing up and getting ready to sell. So learn from my mistake, guys. I'm definitely learning from this mistake. Whenever I get a new truck, check all fluids. That should be literally the first thing you do. It just never crossed my mind because I never heard any noise coming from the transmission. But lesson learned, expensive lesson learned, but we will get this transmission right. This is just part of owning a truck or cars. Stuff breaks. You know, you can help it sometimes, sometimes you can't. This time, I could have helped it by checking the fluid in it. But learn from my mistakes. We will get this truck back on the road here soon. I'm gonna have to pull this transmission out, so you guys will see a video on that. But thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. And we will see you in the next one. Dippin' Diesel, out.